I don't know who needs this reminder, but prayer still works. I'm gonna try so hard not to cry in this video, but unless you're new here, even if that's a regular, we cry a lot over here. As I just sit in my house, I am just continually reminded about the goodness and the faithfulness of God all of my life. It wasn't long ago that me and my husband were living in a camper with our babies, and we absolutely loved it. We honestly could do it again. But it's crazy how when the Lord shows you that he has something for you, and then your heart begins to yearn for it. And that's what began to happen to us. God showed us that he had a home for us, a special home for us. And let me tell you guys, we went through some of the hardest times of our life in that camper. But God has never not been faithful. He has never not taken care of me and my family. And when my heart began to yearn and crave that home that he said he had for me, he made it happen. And he literally blew my socks off. I had a friend who is a realtor that I met also during one of the hardest, most trying seasons of my life. And I love this girl so much. She's become like my sister, my actual sister. I always call her my big sister. But one day she messaged me. This was shortly after, I want to say just a couple months after God revealed to me that he had a home for me. Let me tell you something. God is not a fast God, but he is a sudden one. And he keeps every single word that he says. This beautiful, special friend of mine hit me up and is like, hey, God really put it on my heart to buy a house for you. And I was like, me? I mean, just a complete loss for words. Me? She is a realtor, and they had been wanting to look for a property investment. And she said, God specifically told me to buy this home for you with your family in mind. And we bought it. And you guys, this was such a big miracle for us at the time, because there was no way that we were able to get a place of our own to be able to rent. We had no renter's history. We had no job income. We were literally fully relying on God for our every single need and expense, with children, I might add. And when I tell you that times got really hard and scary, but we never lacked nothing, I mean it. Upon receiving that news, we ended up moving in the house, and oh my gosh, our kids were over the moon, over the moon, so happy. And I just want to tell you guys, we had nothing. And I mean nothing. No furniture, no nothing but the clothes on our backs. That was it. And when I tell you guys, if I show you my house right now, you would probably freak out, because all of what I have has been given to me. I kid you not. I have not paid for one piece of decor for this house. I have not paid for my couches. I have not paid for anything. Not my table, not my bed, not my mattress. My kids have everything they need. I used to just dream about the days that I would be able to give them a room that they would love. And now they have that room that they absolutely love, decorated to a T. And let me tell you something, it is all God. Shortly after we moved in, God gave me a word and he told me we were only going to be here 3 months. That word was hard to take in, and so just me being me, I let that word go in one ear and out the other. And that devastated me later because it was a very hard time. My husband was having a hard time finding a job. So basically, in a long story short, because of property taxes and the high interest rate on this house, we could no longer afford to live here. We were devastated whenever we had to leave. Absolutely devastated. And that same week, God ended up opening up an apartment for us that we also did not qualify for. I remember whenever we lived in the camper, he had given me a word about a house. This house. That's right, this house that I currently live in. And then he gave me a word about an apartment with high ceilings. You guys, that apartment that we got approved for had high ceilings. It was such a specific word that I was given that I knew that that was where we were meant to be, even if it was temporarily and I didn't know it. Well, I did not know it, okay? And our lease was up this past September. And my husband and I began to pray about where we were going to go. And he now has a very good job. He is so blessed, so favored by his boss. He has received, I think, like 4 to 5 raises in like a little over a year. And God is just, like I said, he does not stop blowing us away. I know this is long, but I'm trying to make it quick. And whoever this is for, I just pray that you listen to the whole thing, because this testimony is something that I just hold so near and dear to my heart, if you can't tell. Our lease was up in September. We began to pray about where God wanted us to go. We thought we were going to end up at the previous house. And you guys, I completely surrendered this house. I loved it, but I completely surrendered it. Never thinking that the door would open up again. But whenever we thought we were going to get into the previous place, that was an option. Something about it wasn't sitting completely right with me. And I just had that feeling like this is not going to happen. And this house had gotten offered back to us by my beautiful, sweet friend. And she had told me that she knew it was God telling her to offer the house back to us, because every time she would try to rent it out, it just fell through. It never worked out. And so my husband and I began to pray about it, not genuinely, like wholeheartedly, not thinking anything of it. And God just gave us this immense like wave of peace at the same time, mind you, because we separated well, we didn't separate, but like I was in the house, he left to the gym, and we decided to go pray about it separately to hear from God and just come back together and see what God said. And we both just felt this huge wave of peace come over us about this house. And you guys, we're back in this house. It is so peaceful, so beautiful, and I literally couldn't ask for anything more. Right before our lease was up, I prayed to God and I told God, I don't care where you put me, I just want a house with a garage, because our car kept getting broken into. That's a story for another time. And I prayed for wherever we went to, our rent to be lowered. And I prayed for it to be in a good, safe neighborhood for my kids. I got the garage that I missed so much. Got the good neighborhood. And you guys, she lowered my rent like $400 more. The faithfulness of God just out of this world. I'm telling you, prayer works.